smile through it. You think the sun cares when the clouds block its light? No, it waits. Patiently. It knows the clouds will pass, that its warmth will be felt again. You, my friend, are that sun. And the people trying to block your light, they're temporary, fleeting.
But this is a trip. So I thought,
Let me tell you a
what
story.
else is there that can make me financially stable and happy and successful in life? Do you know what? I gotta forget what the teachers told me. I gotta forget what the streets told me. I gotta wake up and smell the coffee. Life is what you make it. I gotta get out here and make my own life how I want to make it. Is it gonna be easy? No. But my options are so terrible that the struggle it takes to make it
It's
is
better
way
than
better
wasting time
than the struggle
struggling.
working to 75 or the struggle of running from police every day. So I better go out and make it, bro.
No, literally, there's no other way.
There's
You,
no other way.
because either way, you're wasting time.
Bro,
Regardless of what you do, you're wasting time if you're not building anything yourself.
and what
You're just an idiot, really.
you're an idiot. And what I've realized is the chase to success is like, you know how rich people always say it's the journey. It is the journey because, like I said, on the journey, bro, you get mini trophies on the way. Like, I'm not saying you just start something tomorrow and you
Have
become
you
a
bagged it
millionaire.
though? Have you bagged it? The more you lock into the marathon and the actual
Yeah,
goal that you
everything
want,
improves around you.
once you've accepted how long it's going to take to complete these tasks, you start to deep with like, okay, I can enjoy these
You
moments
start
along the race.
thinking
I can
reality.
actually enjoy the moment at work, or I can enjoy when I link up with my brethren on a
Life
night out,
becomes
or
better. Like even like I can't lie and say,
it's
oh,
leveling up
I
every
think
day.
like this, so it automatically makes me a millionaire. No, that would be a lie. But I can say because I think like this, my life is better than the average
It's
man.
definitely a millionaire
Because I've got a
mindset, I'll tell
goal.
you that
Like
much.
when I go work on Monday, I don't go work on Monday thinking, oh, work, I hate my manager. I think, cool, this 9 to 5 is supporting my 5 to 9. So that it's a means to end. And my 5 to 9 is my whole life and future on the end of it. So that's way more stressful than this. Then I start thinking, you know what? Now I've started thinking like this. Guess what? My parents are more proud of me. Guess
You
what?
get it.
I look better. Guess
You
what? I
get it.
think better. I've got more information. Guess what? That makes me better with the ladies. Guess what? That makes me better just walking down the street. I walk now. I walk with my head held a bit more high because I got a bit more confidence. I feel like I'm actually doing something in my life. I can't lie and
Productiveness
say
as
I'm gonna
well.
become a millionaire.
But that's
But
another
guess
thing.
what?
That's a big
The
part you just
journey is
said.
still great.
That's a big part you just said. Like, it's the productiveness. People don't want to go gym. People don't want to go. So the answer to the question, I believe, honestly, Jay, is that what makes a man not average is not going beyond the mile.
Mm.
And that's it.
Just
Because,
accepting his fate and
yeah,
just basically just continue to be average. But when what I want that man to understand is like because the statistics, like you know, when they go statistics, they be like the average man makes this, the average man does this.
yeah,
I just want you to know to a certain extent that I'm sorry to say it, if you are the average man in 2025, I do think it's fair to say you're kind of picking to be the average man because
definitely.
you
But what
don't
I would
have to
say is
be the
much
average man.
scarier topic. I would say the sad thing about being an average man in 2025 is that you actually got to watch out for a robot replacing you and your manager just saying goodbye today because you know what? Harry the robot can replace 10 of you with one. Like, and then
Yeah,
whereas
nowadays it's a bit.
like you walk
It's
into
not how it used to
H&M,
be.
you walk
Oh,
into H&M,
that's a
you
very
walk
good
into
point.
Zara and you just see it in your face. Like,
You know, that's a very
it's
good point. Do you
scary.
know what I think it is? I think a lot of people these days are living off a blueprint that doesn't exist anymore. I think
Yeah.
because maybe like your grandparents, yeah, I'd say that's a good age to start with. Your grandparents' era, they could probably be the average man. You could be a plumber called Terry down the road, but you could probably get a mortgage. You could have a two-bedroom house with your missus, and your missus was a different woman, and that's a different conversation about the women of today.
Yeah.
But you could have a car, and
Don't
you
even
could
get
pay
me
for your
started.
mortgage and have a savings and go Spain once a year with your kids. But I feel like that 70s, 80s, 90s mentality where the house pricing was low, it was 40p to jump on a bus, a box of cigarettes were £2. In
Man.
2025, that don't apply.
Yeah, yeah,
So now it really and truly, what is the average man? Because if the average man in let's say 1982 was the average man maybe 20 grand a year, I don't even know what it was. It might have been less than that. It might have been like 16 grand a year. If that was the average man back then, what's the average man nowadays? 30 grand a year, 40 grand a year? And say if you're, but we know people making less than that. So how are they getting up in the morning? And it's like, I get it. It's a hard life. It's a hard grind. But then don't you think, like, this is what I've always thought, me personally, when my back's against the wall and I think, bro, left is looking peak and right is looking peak. But one of them might turn out all right. I'm going with that option. Because either way you look, if you're fucked either way, you might as well start doing wild shit.
I'll be honest, it's just like it's a sad cycle of living month to month, and what
Hmm.
people don't realize is you finance the car, you leave your mom's house early to prove the point to everyone that you're an adult and you can do this all by yourself, and you're this person that you're not really.
Yeah.
And then you end up struggling on 3 bills a month, scraping through, scraping through, scraping through, and then you end up with depression and mental
Hmm.
health, and people look at you like, why? You're doing everything right, but
But
you're
then
not. You
also,
fast up yourself, you did everything the wrong way. Earn the right amount of money before you acquire these debts and these big monthly bills
before you
and
find a
try to
woman
play
to think it's okay to have kids
and
with.
try to play the big man. Like you
Yeah.
can't, it's a
Like,
process.
how many men do you know that had kids? And it's like, what was you thinking about that? Like, and I'm not saying kids ain't a blessing. And cool, like, some man get caught up and things happen and it's an accident. And you know what? A kid was probably a blessing to your life. But I've seen people at early ages, bro, like 20 years old, and they've thought, yeah, it's a great idea for me and my girlfriend to have a baby. And I'm like, my brother, you make 25 grand a year. Like,
Yeah.
bro, it costs £100 a week to get to
N-
work for some people, bro.
Not
Like,
even that. I would just say like
a bag of shopping from bloody Sainsbury's is
forget
£50
even
right now.
trying. Just forget even trying. Like as a man at that age, why is your priority even making kids? You should be building yourself up to actually support something
But then
and
it
be
falls
proud
into
of
that thing. I feel like a lot of these things that people use the emotional argument for are kind of excuses. It will be like, instead of the intimidating task of me trying to really make
Let's give
generational
myself
wealth
an excuse.
or really change my family
Let's
dynamic,
give myself
and
an actual
let
real
me, yeah.
excuse and then say I can't actually carry on.
Well, chasing
But
the
then
dream is too scary.
but then that still doesn't work because I know man with kids who are still aiming for the bag and they
Hmm.
ain't playing.
It's true.
So it's like
It's true. And another thing to think about is a lot of these guys nowadays, they do this weird thing that I can never understand is that they just want to look like they've made it. Like,
oh, the ones who don't
they,
they
yeah.
they haven't made it
They're
and they
not
don't
even
want to make
they're
it.
not
They're
even the
just
average man. Like, let's talk about that. They're not even the
uh
average man. They're not even on 30 bags a year.
the,
But they want to buy Moncler jackets
do you
and
know
be
what's
in the club
do you know what's
and
cool
put
about
on their brethren's watch and bloody post on Instagram. And it's like, where is your mindset at, my brother?
they're the same man that will tell you they pay no tax but don't make no bread.
Yeah, you can't pay tax. You can't pay tax on zero, nigga. I don't know, bro. Like, but and then that's another thing. Like, I feel sorry for a lot of young guys today and young females too. That Instagram and TikTok, if you're not mentally strong enough, it brainwashes you, and you can start getting caught up in a cycle of I'm just gonna look like I've achieved things. I'm gonna look like I've reached the finish
It's
line
just
already,
it's
and then
equivalent to a slut on the roads, isn't it?
but
Like
when
you're
you
just a
wake
little
up.
whore. You just see man with money and you try to befriend them, and then on the night out you get invited, and then you can cut through and that and look good in the Insta pictures, and then you buy asset to even earn this in the first place. Nigga, think with your brain, not with Instagram knowledge, bro. It's not a
That's the
fucking
problem. A lot of
like
guys is
niggas
getting
don't
brainwashed
shit
by
out
Instagram.
Lamborghinis, G.
Yeah,
I don't know
yeah.
where you are, but don't
Honestly,
come out man's arsehole. So start using your brain and actually think of a way to work towards it.
I think a
And
lot.
if you're sitting on the block, just stop. Just take the Thailand trip. Forget it, bro. Just like these ten bats ain't doing it, bro. It's not working, fam.
It's not, but Why? So cool. We spoke about the average man.
But I'm not dissing any hustles. I'm just
I'm
being
not
honest.
dissing the
Like
hustle either,
if
but
everyone wants to like really get to the spot they want to get to and be rich, yeah, then it's like either risk the serious jail time or come up with things in your house and actually do that 9 to 5 and work on another plan. But if you're happy with just being the average guy, then fair enough. But if you're not trying to be, then
yeah,
I
that's what I'm
don't
saying.
get it.
I'm not trying to diss no one either, but I'm saying from what I see is a lot of people complaining either you're on the streets or you're working a 9 to 5, and I don't see when I look at their lifestyles, I don't see any action trying to change the things they're complaining about. So it's like you'll get a street guy, he keeps complaining about I took this loss, I'm trying to build up this, I'm trying to do
Oh,
this.
don't even talk
And
about losses. We take losses all the time. We don't complain.
I
We
know,
just go
but
on.
then that guy that knows all of these rubbish things keep happening to him, you look at his lifestyle and he's in the club with a rollie on trying to flex, like, no, life is fine. It's like, bro, stop thinking what people think about. Like, do you not know if you're lucky enough to make it to the next 10 years? That is a very real date, bro. 2035 is gonna go very quick. And when you get to 35 and it's 2035, the actions you make
If you're
today are
not
gonna
dead,
affect
you're
that.
replaced by a robot and it's taking your job, bruv.
And not even that, bro. Imagine if you're the guy, like, bro, 10 years ago, yeah, it would have been hard to get a job if you never had a job. What do you think that's going to be like in the next 10 years? If you go to a job interview and they look at your CV and you've never had a job, you left school when you were 16 and it's 2030 because you wanted to be plastic gangster for fucking 10 years.
Plastic
And now
gangster.
fucking, like,
how,
like
how do
now
they
what,
say it?
bruv?
Plastic gangster, that one over there. Plastic
Plastic gang,
gangster.
and now what? Like, you can't
Fuck.
even get a job and you probably got two baby moms. And you try and get council house. Like, there's no
Uh,
way to live, bruv.
by the time we're 35, there ain't gonna be council houses left. Baby mums will rob them all, bro. They'll be telling us we gotta wait till we're 74, G.
No, bro. It's just,
By the time,
and I
G,
know, I
they
know
told
it.
me I gotta wait till I'm 34 for a council house.
Yeah.
By the time I get to 34, that waiting list is gonna tell me I gotta wait till I'm
But then this is what I'm
72.
saying. Do you know what?
72.
Do you know what? A person with the right perspective on life says to that.
Yeah,
So you just told me it's gonna take till 2034 to get council house.
yeah,
Guess what? I'm not getting a council house.
yeah. Fuck
I'm gonna
that.
put in the work to get my own house.
Yeah,
So
bro.
2034, I want two houses.
Did you get it?
But that's the difference. Like people just don't think like that, and it's like I feel like the sad reality is. I know it sounds like we're taking the piss sometimes. We're looking down on people. I'm not
No,
looking
I
down on
don't.
no
I
one.
respect everyone who
I
has a
respect
job.
everyone,
I know what
and I
hard work
understand the
is.
struggle.
It's not easy out here. I respect crackheads. I respect homeless people. Some people go to war and they're homeless, and the government don't do
Exactly. A
nothing
lot of
for
things
them.
can happen in life.
I'm not just a one-way thinker,
No,
but when it comes
100%.
to entrepreneur mindset, this is the mindset we have, and this is how harsh it has to be.
It has
Because
to.
how many times are you gonna look yourself in the mirror and say, "I really want this," but you're not gonna do the things that it takes to really get there.
You
So
can't.
that's why
Yeah.
that's where the harshness comes from.
You can't give yourself them type of
It's not because we
excuses,
hate
bro.
everyone in society. It's because we
Nah.
want better.
Yeah, we want better for them. Like we actually genuinely care enough to have these conversations, and it's just there's things that happen in life, and you just really have to take it on the chin and keep it cracking. And it's not. I'm not even saying necessarily that is the right thing to do.
Of
I'm just
course not.
saying the way society is built, you can't care about it. It's like, come on, like let's not get the details, but we have both been through things in our lives that could be considered as very serious traumas or upsets. And it's
Definitely,
like,
definitely.
but it's like
But you
you
don't dwell on it.
can't
You don't dwell on it. You just
because
grow. You
if
grow.
I understand reality to the fact I'm saying, then I also understand that that doesn't actually matter in the grand scheme of things. It might matter to me sometimes when I'm lonely at night thinking in bed, but guess what? When it's time to grind and time to have a meeting with someone or time to make a certain phone call about a certain business transaction, that is all out the picture. The guy on the other side of the phone that's ready to invest in me, he doesn't want to know my sub story. He wants to
Yeah,
know
he
what
don't give a
results could you
shit.
bring to the table.
He don't
He
give a
wants to
shit.
know if an earthquake happens tomorrow and you lose your house, can you still bring me results? And I have to be like, yeah,
I'll tell him suck
but
his mum.
no,
But but
but
the point you're making, I get, mate. Like you gotta actually be a reliable source
and
to
that's
speak
why
from.
I actually think the average guy needs to realize he is better than the Elon Musks and the Jeff Bezos. You are harder and more prepared for success than these guys that were private school
Yeah,
or were private secondary school.
a lot of these
They've never
guys were
had a
built
fist
into
fight.
success.
They've never even had the bounce back from a loss.
Yeah, but without the fist fights, there's a lot of
No, but
guys.
I'm saying fist
There's
fight, not on
guys
the
who haven't
topic.
had
I'm
fist
saying fist
fights.
fight on the fact that like you've never experienced hardships.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say. Like, there's a lot of guys who haven't had fist fights. They're not built like that, but they grew up in the gutter having to avoid fist fights. They're not just rich where they can move out and just start
Yeah,
businesses.
but I would
They
say
still
that
had to
guy's
grow
smart.
out. Yeah, but he's like, there's guys who are not physically ready for these battles,
Mm.
but they grew up in the battles.
Yeah, yeah,
So,
they
they,
took on their
but
own
but
battles.
if they still made it to where I'm talking about, I gotta respect them
I
because they
respect
came
them
from the
more
same hustle.
because they
Yeah,
was playing the game way harder.
yeah.
Like if you grew up in a certain environment and you avoid a lot of bullshit in your environment and still make it, bro, the battles you were facing at night time is crazy
A lot of guys that got
because
bullied and didn't turn fed, but actually turned something else and put that all that stress into
yeah,
something else. I rate them
I rate them highly, like more
because
than a lot of
because
people,
bad men just do dickhead idiot things and want to be feds and want to do some idiot thing and just want to bully up the place.
and they want to get
But
involved
that's a
in
whole
things they
nother
have no
topic. That's a
concern
whole nother
getting into.
topic. But
100%, but
I don't like them pussies, man.
but bro, it's just a sad reality. You gotta realize that we need to find a way to make the people them understand they can be more, and it's not as hard and complicated as they think. You just gotta. I don't know we can change people's mindsets, but all you gotta do is try, man. Like start small, like something stupid, like can you just go to the gym once a week? And then honestly, this might sound stupid, but the lessons you will just learn from being disciplined enough to say, I'm gonna go gym every Thursday. I don't care if it's raining. I don't care if it's snowing. I don't care if I remember the thing that happened to me when I was 14, 15. I don't care if, oh, my bills was late. I don't care if I'm in my overdraft. No matter what, I'm gonna go to the gym on Thursday. If you can keep up that mentality, you will understand that that mentality pretty much can transfer into other aspects of life. And then that can turn into, okay, let me try 2 days a week, 3 days a week. Okay, I'm getting more fit, I'm getting more healthy. Raw. So I do have control over my life. I just have to
But
have a
you
certain
know, you
amount
have
of
to
discipline.
understand as well, like it's not only consistency, it's a commitment. You gotta treat it like it's your other half, which is what you do with your life. Like, you can't just say, I'm going to be consistent at something if you have no commitment to it. So that's why the goal at the end means a big thing. But then what's scary is once you actually hit that goal, now you have to still be the person who's responsible for what's going on. Because if you're accountable for a lot of money and you have a lot of things to be sorting out, you can't just be having fun just because you can. You can't just be spending money just because you can and being this guy that you think you can. You gotta handle business, and that's why a lot of people don't have a salary they probably could have. Is because once you get that type of money, can you actually be a responsible person
Mm,
and not become a crackhead? Can you
mm,
be responsible and actually make sure you handle business for the next 5 years and not go overboard?
it's a good point.
Can you actually receive that 1 million in funding and make sure that 1 million in funding doesn't get robbed, or you don't just lose a bunch of money, or it's actually been going to the right parts of, you know what I mean?
It's a
Because
good
a lot of
point.
people fumble the bag, and then that's why it separates the boys from the men. Like, when you actually get this lump sum and you actually get to this successful stage, can you handle that money?
It's
Do
a
you
very
go
good
ape
point.
shit and go all my days and turn into a 17-year-old again and try to buy a Lamborghini?
But I
Or do
just
you crack on and actually build your hustle for the next five
It's a
years?
good point, but I think that doesn't actually happen to people a lot that got it from the ground up. I feel like that more
I
happens to
agree,
the
I agree,
people
I
that
agree.
got
Yeah,
given something or that
definitely.
got given a very big help or handout. So they avoided
Yeah,
a lot of
yeah.
life lessons
A
and
lot
it was
of a
blood,
lot of
sweat, and
put
tears.
ons.
Because I feel like when you get it from the ground up like us, and it's like your options in life, the cards you were dealt in life are so terrible that bro, like we said, it's dead or in jail, it's 9 to 5 till 60, or it's make it. When you go through that transition of basically, like 50 Cent said, get rich or die trying, once you get rich, the way you're gonna appreciate that money and that
For
position,
people like us, but we
like,
have to remember there's other people who say they go through the same thing as us, but then look at the decisions they decide to make with their life. So all it takes is for some people who have made decisions and got so far to be around the wrong crowd and then make the wrong
well,
decisions
but then
again.
that goes back to the thing like we said about the streets. It's just about being a man. If you was
Yeah,
the guy on
yeah,
the
yeah,
block
yeah, yeah.
that everyone said we're gonna go lick a post office, But you was man enough to say, I don't want to lick a post office, but guess what? I'ma still walk around here tomorrow with my head held high because I made a decision for myself as a man. You gotta be the same guy that just because you're making money and now you're chilling at the top of the shard and people are doing lines of coke, the same way you said no to robbing a bank, you gotta refuse that line of coke. The same way your gut instinct is telling you, yeah, this 1010 model wants me to take her back to the hotel, but my spider senses are tingling. I don't trust her. You gotta shut that down. The same way the guy that wants to do a business transaction with you, but the way he's talking, your spider sense is tingling, and you just feel like something's wrong with
Yeah,
him. He's a bit
yeah.
spooky.
You
You
gotta
gotta
hold it
say
down.
no.
Yeah.
The same things that got you here are the same things that are gonna keep you here. You
Yeah, yeah,
can't
yeah,
get
yeah.
in the door and forget everything that got you in the door.